Hello and welcome to Dell's Gaming. I'm Dell and this is the Kerbal Space Program, and we are at the Space Center in a nice evening. They've had the memorial service for Valentina, so we do need to replace her. It's a pity we lost a person, but as I said, not going to use quick saves on this. It's also a reminder that space is a dangerous place to go. There's dangers everywhere, and being a test pilot on our ships is problematic. So one thing we're going to need to do is possibly look at a new person to bring along as a new pilot. And we got Tedgun. Tedgun is available as a possible person. So at the moment we have Dorla is our main pilot, our only pilot at this moment, so we do need one more pilot to start coming up. We have Valentina is missing in action, unfortunately. Jebediah did get killed on an early mission, and Valentina, obviously we saw her go down and yes, lost in the water, so unknown what has happened to her, so she's gone down as missing in action. So we still have lots of people, lots of applicants who are willing to be thrown up into space by our ships. So we've only got one person to choose on this, and that is going to be Tedgun. I'm not going to get used to saying that name, actually, I don't think. Tedgun. Ted's got his gun. Okay, yep, okay, that will be Ted's got his gun. Okay, so we got that, which cost us a bit of money, but we needed to get that. Now, what is the upgrades that are available? Okay, this is one upgrade I'm going to get as well, because to be able to do EVAs in space for our astronauts and other groups will be of great value. It's extra science. It also means a scientist could go out of the pod and reset some of the equipment, scientific equipment, including science bay goo containers, which has the effect of meaning we don't need to take so many along with us. And we can reset it, collect the data, reset it, store the data for later on collection, rather than having to collect it and come back with the information. They can also do EVA reports, so we will be getting that, although I'm going to hold off at this second on that one. Okay, what are we going to do today then? So something we have to do, got a couple of contracts, is we just need to get some cash flow before we start doing some of these Orbit the Mun, which will be our next one, and sending people on flyby to the Mun, etc. Expires in 4 hours. Okay, what we're gonna do, which are all great, and these are really high value targets. So this is a landing on the Mun. This is data from space around the Mun, land, and then transmit. But we've got a fair bit we've got to test before we can do this. We've done an rendezvous, which is fine. Docking will be the next item. Excuse me. So at the moment though, we're just going to get a couple of these satellite ones, because you can see this is worth 90,000 to us, which is excellent money. So that's a 90-degree polar orbit by the looks of it, so it's at 90 degrees. Longitude of ascending node 281, and the other one is 9226. So similar, but an argument of periapsis of 40.3. So what we're going to check, and they're both worth quite a good bit of money. Whoops, not going to hit that one. I always go for this X and it's the cancel. Oh, I hate that one. Right, so we're going to check. So by going to the here, we can see, so this is, you can see which direction this is flowing. So it's flowing north, I think. If I look at this, which way is this going? Yep, that's going down, so that's going north. So if we did we could do a night take off and go north on this one as an example. So that's one, and you can see it's dead over the pole, so that's fine, and it's going off. Right, this one, what direction is this going? The blue one, I can't quite see which direction. It is going the same way, but it's you can see there's a big difference on there. That's a 8383. This is 438. So this 81's a much higher orbit. This is effectively almost low orbit. It isn't low orbit, it is still a big orbit, but we might do this one first. And it's also first in line, because if we wait for the planet to line up before we launch, basically we need to be level with the line. So we'll do this short one first. So let's go and get a simple little lander. Let's just make sure which one this is for. We'll name the one after it. It's the one that's got 4,800. So that's this one. So that's the Kerbal Scientists. Who's this for? Right. Passing by Kerbal World First Record Keeping Society, KWF. Okay, that's fine. So it's the KWF we're going to be doing this for. Right, so we need a new unmanned probe that has an antenna and can generate power. That's fine. Okay, and hold it there for 10 seconds. This is going to be the KWF. So if we go into here, we'll load in one of our previous. I'm going to have a quick tidy up, because we've got a load of launchers in here from previous that we are not going to need. So some of these now I can delete these autopilot test ones, because we're not going to need these again, because we're now on much I might leave the last one. Oh no, yeah, we'll leave it level 5, but this was all during our last mission, so we'll leave test 5. The exploder 1, we won't need that, or 2, or 3. We might as well clean these out. 4, well, I might leave 5 there, this thing. And again with the imploders, we only did one imploder actually. That was one of our first launches out there, but also the K2s. We'll get rid of the K2s now that we have a reliable the K2 version 3 is a 2-ton launcher. The K1 and 6 here, we'll hold them at the moment because they need a little bit of work. Okay, so, and also these ones here, we'll just go straight for the high orbit 3. We don't need to save these, we'll just rename it just before launch. So this one here, we'll get rid of this one here as well, I think. Don't need that one. And possibly these science ones. Let's get rid of them. And suborbital. We'll keep the cut suborbital, why not? Right, so load the satellite launcher. And this is for the Kerbal KSF Space SFR I. So okay, we've got, so it's nice and simple. We're just going to blast off with this. So we've got a simple system on here. We've used it before, but what we're going to try and do here is be a little bit we're going to try and just get ourselves back into a good state, i.e. get a good launch under us. Check also to see if there's any differences in some of the new mod, so we're checking to see if that's going to give us any problems. So let's go for a quick satellite launch. So before we go too far, one thing we want to make sure we've got power. Yep. Our staging is correct. Let's see, first stage launch, yep. Second stage releases them. Yeah, that releases a little bit there. Where's this here? Yeah, that's wrong there. Those two need to go together. So it releases there and then goes on to that one. Okay, so a slight error there needs to be corrected. Okay, ready for launch. Now this is a polar launch, so I'm going to turn this way. I need to make sure where we are. Let's make sure where we are. There we are. And we need to be going north, and I also need to wait until we are over the planet. So first thing I'm going to do is go back here, and that's our normal view. We're wanting to go north, so I'm going to aim at our center here so that I can see the angle of the craft. I'm still going to have to use up arrow. I can't change the direction. What you can do is, when you're building the craft, is change the orientation of the craft in the hangar using the WASD keys when you first place the probe unit, etc. down, and then that defines the angle on the HUD. But I know I'm going to have to push it up, so that's fine for me. Visually it's going to be a little different, because visually I'm going to have a left and right, just for me to have to sort out. Okay, let's go back here and let a little time elapse so that we can get roughly into the right orbit at the starting point. So there's no point in starting when we've got a long way, a lot of fuel to burn to get us into the right area. So we'll just put this up, let a bit of the daytime appear. We've got a load of debris still running around the planet. Hopefully they will land at some point in the future. I did go through the video from the previous launch with Valentina, and I didn't launch the parachutes early. We were down at 200 meters. We were very high, about 15,000 feet, and that's the only issue that I can see at this time that could have been with what we were doing in that particular launch. Okay, I think we're almost on this line. We don't want to be directly on it. That should be fine. So yeah, I didn't see any problem with our launch, but it caused us a problem. Okay, fuel power is up, stabilization is on. Ready for launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Minor turn to the north. That's not going north. Yes, it is going north. There we go. Right, bringing down the speed a little bit so it doesn't get too hot. Because this whole issue now is a problem. Let's make sure we are going in the right direction before we go, because we should be heading north. Yes, we can see it's starting to go a little north on that director, which is fine. Oop, that stage has gone, going back up to full speed. Need to make sure this is leaning the right way. Yep. We're at 20,000. We should go to a 45 degrees now. There we are. Our periapsis at 1 minute. They'll try and keep that around 1 minute. We need to go to about 100k. It doesn't matter if we use a lot of fuel on this one. We've got a long area to this first to get out to, so it doesn't matter if we used all of this fuel on effectively a high apoapsis, because we're doing the apoapsis change to go for the really much wider orbit to intersect with the correct orbit for the satellite placement. Let's just make sure we are still going the right way. Yep, we are going the right way, and our apoapsis is still fine. It's staying at 45 degrees, even though we are well within the 150,000 mark in our suborbital, because our estimated proper angle would be near 4 million. So it's fine if we hold it a little bit below that. Get on that 45 a little better. It's looking good so far, looking good, looking good. Almost out of fuel. We've pushed our apoapsis up high enough, I believe. Launched. Okay, so now we have this next section, which I will just give it a quick burst. Now, oh, press the space bar. That have to watch out for things like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is, where's the sun? The sun is going to be coming up over there, and we're going to need some sunlight for this. We're going to start at our apoapsis, create our Manuever node to get us into this orbit. So if we just go there, add a Manuever node to get us out to about, well, we even need to get out to here 3/8, but since we're doing it from this side, we're going to be heading out to 4,800. So burn this way. There's our apoapsis. Just almost going there. That looks good. Right, now we can change our angle here as well. Get it on the correct line if at all possible. Right, so we're going to try and get this apoapsis to meet. So let's see if we can move. What I'm going to try and do is move the apoapsis directly over and try and get that to touch and have it as effectively an intersect. Unfortunately, there's not something, we can't set it as a target to get into intersects. So we do have to do this by eye. Right, that will get us intersecting their line, which is good. I don't mind that. We'll intersect it. So we do this as a 2. That's going to get our apoapsis up. That's a little high, so let's bring this back a bit here. Just trying to pull it close. There we go. How was that? That's not too bad. A little bit more. I've got enough time. Have I got time? Where is our ship? Where are we? Where are we? Oh yeah, we've still got 18 minutes to our apoapsis. We're still down here somewhere. There we are. SKF1. There we go. We've got that debris, and we're actually right next to it. So we're only a little bit in front of that, which is fine. Because I haven't turned on satellites. There we go. So I'm not seeing myself on there because the satellites is not turned on here, which is very annoying. Is there a way of turning that back on now that we're here? I might have to go to the tracking center. Okay, so let's go to the space center. Go to the tracking center. There's something I wasn't aware of. If I've turned it off in the space center, then I don't see it when I'm in the main map. So we go here, now we go to here, not the debris, We want the satellite, there we go, and we're going to go fly it. Okay, now we should see ourselves on the map. Right, let's go and have a look at this thing. Yeah, we see ourselves now. That's handy. Always handy. Okay, so where were we? We were setting up this one here, and it's okay there. Right, what we won't do is we won't worry about this. We just get the AP lined up roughly. So yeah, just there. I think looks good to me. Nothing wrong with that really. That will be close enough. Okay. So we have got, let's see, a 1000 meter a second burn. I do hope we have enough inside the satellite for that 1000 meter second. And let's head. Have we got electricity? Yep, we do. So let's head for the maneuver zone. Aim ourselves at it. Where is the sun? The sun is over there, so that's fine as far as fuel is going. We have no burn estimate, but 1000 meters a second, that might be about a 40-second burn. So we'll go with 20 seconds before as a starting point on this, I think. So let's warp up to the point. We'll be relatively slow. We don't want to push this too quickly. We certainly don't want to miss it, which is my usual trick. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Take it down. Take it all the way down to 1. Okay, so I'm estimating 40 seconds. That might be a little out. It might even be a lot less, but let's aim for the point. Go. Oh, it's only actually about 30 seconds. That's not too bad at all, actually. Take that down for 5. There we go, another 5 now. We'll let it go through all the way to the end, and then we'll do our second adjustment burn at this apoapsis. Stop. There we go. Let's see how far we are out on that. Possibly just need a little bit. This kill off that one there. Yes, possibly just need a bit more. Oh, way out. Okay, I should have stopped where I was. That was a bad idea. Okay, let's get us back. Bad move, Del. Bad move. All right. Right, we're just going to do a small burn here. Right, just there. Now, what is the correct settings we actually need here? Is it this one we're on? 4808. That's close enough. And 3835. Okay, so next we are going to set a maneuver node here. So let's see, we're coming around this way. So we'll set a maneuver node here, which is basically going to put our periapsis up to that other area. There we go. Right, that should be a little bit more needed. Right, we will pull it around on our zone, on our point. We'll bring this point a little closer to there. There we go. And push it up. Okay, that looks good. Right, now we just need to get our angle right. So we are just on in level flight here. So if one of these is intersecting, we can use that to a halfway point intersect the other way. See how this ascending node is now connected? Now we're going this way though. We are going to be going, oh no, we were going that way, that's fine. So after we've done this burn to here, to link on this bit, so when we come around here, we link here. At this point, in actual fact, what we can then do is burn halfway here. So actually what I want to get is this just about touching here. It's a little bit awkward with this in the way. Let's just move that out of the way. There we go. Then we're going to pull this in so it's just touching. Right, so at this halfway point here, we can then do another Manuever node to basically bring everything into alignment. That should be fine, which should be a very minor adjustment just to bring everything into touch at this point where it's effectively intersecting just here. So this will be our second Manuever node, but let's get this first one sorted. I like that. That's nothing wrong with that little node. It's only a 211, so it's only 2 seconds. So we're going to give it, because we're going to use manual control, I'm going to allow gentle manual control. It's going to be 2 seconds. It's nearly going to be about 6, I think. So let's get close. Where's the sun? Number one is where's the sun? Okay. Now I'm going to have to make sure that we are receiving electricity. Yes, we are from that one there, so that's cool. I can stay pointed at our trajectory. Right, let's now get the time up and get close to that point. So we've got 2 hours and 45. I don't like going to, let's do it. I hate going to the 1,000 because it just seems to go a little too ruddy quick. I've gone over on that 1,000 by taking it up to 1,000 far too many times on the warp. Now I have installed Kerbal alarm clock, but I haven't used it on these smaller ones. I thought it would be useful on some of the ones where you've got days amount of time to pass, and then we can I can leave it running at a reasonable rate and have it stop it at the right time. So 8, that's the 5-minute mark, that's the 1-minute mark, coming down at 30 seconds. I'll bring it down to all the way. There we go. Right, so I reckon about 6 seconds with using just the shift and control rather than going full power. So I'll give it about about 3 or 4 seconds up to the point. Let's just make sure I am aimed as tight as I can be on that point. Yep, that looks like to me. I'm gonna go there. I think that should look about right. Let's see, how close are we? 3.7. Oh, that's not too bad. Those 2 periapsises, they are very good. That's nice. That's nice. So it's just these apoapsis here, 4.8, which is my is 4844, and the required one is, oh, actually, have we done it? That's given us it. That's good enough. We did it in 1 burn. Did not need the second burn. That's really good. Okay, that's a contract done then. So now what we can do, we can just take that out of there. Thank you very much. So we have another and we'll go back to the Space Center. We have another satellite in orbit around Kerbin. So that was a nice little 75k in the bank. Excellent. So fairly simple. Got some money, provided a little income, which is always nice to get. Right, so what's our next stage? Right, we've got one more satellite to do, which I'll do in the next episode, just to get that one. It's a slightly wider. Now let's just have a look at the fuel left to see if this same high orbit satellite has enough fuel to do this other orbit, because what we could possibly do, so we've got orbiting the Mun, all of these ones. So our next journey is going to be the Mun. Now what we're going to first do is not a landing. The first one is going to be doing scans. Now I'm not sure if I can do quite as close to these. Let's see what we've got active. We've got Mun. Let's start at the top. 2 here. That's a Kerbin, okay. Kerbin. Actually, we've got a suborbital of an orbital and a suborbital of Kerbin here. That's a quick one we can do. Maybe just test out the. We still have to test the passenger pod, actually, and yeah, I've got to do that one maybe next offline in a plane. And then we have this one. Is how many passengers have we got here? Minmus. That's Kerbin. Orbit of Kerbin, and that's a Mun. So we've got one Mun here. And we have Minmus, Mun, Mun, Mun. So we've got 4 Mun and 3 Kerbin so far. Yeah, 4, because all these other ones, as long as we do an orbit around Kerbin, then you get this all in one go. So okay, we've got, looks at it, we've got 4 Mun and 3 Kerbin tourists at the moment. So that would be, you know, in each, that's a good number, because that means that's using the tourist pod, we can do that all in one. And we do need to test it out. So and we need to also put our new pilot to the test as well. See if we can not kill him, which would be good. And we got here, what we got here, Kerbin, and we got 2 more people here we could take around Kerbin. So we could. And what have we got here? We've got some more tourists for Minmus and the Mun. Some of these have actually got dual ones. They've got flyby Minmus and flyby Mun, which makes them a little bit more expensive. And we've got these basic ones which will explore the Mun and orbit the Mun. Now the orbit we might do, certainly this landing one, we're going to do, this is from transmit scientific data from the surface. This is a Mun landing. That's quite significantly more advanced than this orbit the Mun. But we will take it. It's got no time limit, so that's cool. And these ones here, I just need. I'll do this. So I'm taking a little time here just to make sure we do this correctly and I don't pick something which is wrong. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'll say now, just to think, is I will do another quick satellite orbit so that we can just get some another bit of money from here. That's another 90-odd thousand. So that'll be good for our rocket stuff. We'll then do a test of the passenger pod, landing it again one more time. I don't think I can put that in with one of the satellite launches. I think it's got to be separate. But anyway, we will put that in. We will then, if it's successful landing as an unmanned flight, we will then do it with a pilot and the passengers to do the crew that need to do the orbit of Kerbal. And the other one, which is the visual surveys of Sydney, I'll do that possibly offline, or no, I might do that one. I'll just create a plane and we'll go through that one quickly, because I don't think I've done planes too much. We've done the one for going to the poles, but not one, and it's fairly close. It's only over in those mountains, but it's a bit of a pain to get to because you have to land in the mountains, which is not easy to land at all. So I might have to see what I can do on that. But okay, no one died. That's always a good sign. We have a new Ted Gunn is our new pilot, who's all eager to get up into space. So he's eager to get that test flight, and he's totally ignored the history that everyone keeps on telling him about what I do to people when they go up in flights. He's just happily ignored that at the moment. Oh, got some debris there, and I can recover it at the launch pad. Oh, seems to be a bit high over the launch pad, that one. Yeah, so he's ignored the warnings of everybody else, and he wants to get into space. So we will help him get into space. So until next time, keep playing, keep flying, and have fun.